The 4 C's of 21st Century Learning. Dun dun dun. Communication. Collaboration. Creativity. Critical thinking. Communication. Easy to explain. Creativity. No problem.
Collaboration. Piece of cake.
Critical thinking? This one's tough.
What is critical thinking?
Critical thinking is thinking about something differently, outside of the box, and analyzing it to the nth degree.
Critical thinking is thinking about thinking.
Critical thinking happens when students think for themselves to answer open-ended questions and solve complex problems.
Think deep, think different. Thanks, Kim Joyce.
Critical thinking is taking the knowledge you already have and applying it to create your own unique thoughts and opinions.
In physical education, critical thinking could be where we play lots of games and they have to develop strategies by getting into small groups and figuring out what's working and what's not working so that they can be successful.
Critical thinking is posing questions to oneself that start with how, what if, and why.
Just because you're intelligent doesn't mean you think critically. Critical thinking is really about how we apply our knowledge to arrive at the decisions and opinions on issues.
Critical thinking is reasoning effectively and solving problems.
As you can tell, there are many ways to define critical thinking, so for our purposes, here's one definition that sums up the others pretty well. Critical thinking is looking at problems in a new way, linking learning across subjects and disciplines.
What does critical thinking look like in the classroom?
Students discussing open-ended questions.
Students analyzing texts to support their ideas. Students solving problems with creative solutions.
Students defending opposing points of view.
Critical thinking? How am I supposed to implement that in my classroom?
One way we tried to foster critical thinking skills in our classroom is by allowing students to be creative and to inquire about topics that are of interest to them.
Questioning!
We push students to dig deeper in their learning by asking guiding questions and providing a variety of resources for students to independently find answers. Throughout their learning, we encourage students to ask and answer questions through small group discussions, conferring, working on personalized learning plans, and using graphic organizers.
Problem solving!
In the classroom, we don't just give students answers to issues or problems they are having. Instead, we turn the problem onto them and ask them how they could solve this problem. This allows the child opportunities to solve their problems independently.
Collaboration!
Integrating meaningful learning experiences that promote critical thinking is essential in cultivating a classroom of 21st century learning. One way we do this is by actively involving students in their learning through collaborative work. This helps the students take ownership of the learning and think critically about issues.
But how am I supposed to understand?
Give me something to look at, like this, and like this. Put it into my own words, like this and like this. Give me lots of practice like this and like this.
Whatever you do, critical thinking is not this. Remember, that is not critical thinking.